Our fertility journey has not been as straightforward as we first thought it would be. After almost 2 years of trying to conceive, many courses of supplements, tracking everything, and overcoming the news that I may not be able to be a dad due to fertility problems. Despite all of this, we managed to conceive naturally with identical twins. In this video, we talk to you about everything that we did, every supplement that we took, and every bit of advice that we got, and how we coped with the stresses of our fertility journey.
So we just thought we'd sit down to actually talk about what actually worked for us, because we tried loads of stuff throughout the whole process of trying to conceive.
Yeah.
And we didn't want things to get confusing, so we're going to talk about now all of the things that worked for us, especially on the month that we conceived, because I think that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, you got an eyelash right there.
The month before, Fab went to see his doctor, and his doctor had told him not to drink, hadn't he?
Yeah. Today we are going back to the doctors because we've waited 3 weeks to get this appointment for them to refer us to the specialist, but they wanted us to go in, didn't they?
Together, I don't know why.
Yeah, I think they just want to chat to us, get as much information as possible. Trying to stay positive and hopeful that this is going to be a good appointment and we get referred. The doctor's appointment actually went really well, didn't it, Elle? Well, I say really well. He was positive, this doctor. And it kind of made me feel a little bit better because we went through our results. He kind of explained the next steps. Yeah. He referred us. He said he's going to refer us to a fertility clinic and specialist. I've never really enjoyed alcohol. Whenever I drink alcohol, it's binge drinking on a night out. But I wanted to know, like, will it make a difference if I'm having it here and there, or am I okay to do that? And he basically said, no, you need to cut it out completely.
He said that every time he drank alcohol, it would push him back, like it would do. Fab's not a regular drinker at all, but he kind of stopped. You cut out drink completely, nearly, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I don't drink either at all, so we really cut down on alcohol. Obviously we don't smoke because apparently that can have a massive impact on trying to conceive. Neither of us have ever smoked, but
no, it can have a big impact.
It can have a huge impact, especially on the male fertility side. Yeah. So yeah, we didn't drink, we didn't smoke.
You didn't have any caffeine.
I didn't have any caffeine.
I limited my caffeine massively because before I used to have like pre-workout once or twice a week.
Yeah, no caffeine.
Monsters before training, like the regular stuff, and I cut it down to just 1 coffee a day in the morning. So massively cut that down. Now
we'll go into like vitamins and stuff. Now I cannot vouch enough for these vitamins. I truly believe this is the reason why we conceived. We tried Well Man, Well Woman. Yeah. We tried Conceive Plus. We tried just cutting everything back and just taking folic acid. Yeah. When it comes to vitamins and supplements, I feel like we literally tried everything, didn't we? And
we spent hundreds of pounds on vitamins. They're not cheap. And there are a lot. The trouble is, right, there's no tangible way really of knowing if that's worked or not. You can go on the reviews and there's people like, oh my god, I took these and I conceived straight after, but there is no way that you would be able to tell. Like, there's no way that you could put that down to just that, and we're not putting that down to just these.
Well, there's been a lot of research by top fertility doctors to do with these vitamins. Yeah. So these vitamins have a lot of research behind them by professional people.
You found an article, didn't you?
I found an article by someone called Louisa Zussman, who, as far as I'm aware, paid to go and see one of the top fertility doctors in the USA, and he suggested 2 main vitamins, which is the CoQ10 and DHA, which is found in omega-3, and he told her to take them. Now, she conceived when taking those. We conceived while taking those, and I've done so much research into the 2 vitamins. The first one is DHA, which is found in omega-3, so we both took this. DHA helps with egg quality and also sperm quality, and obviously if you've watched our previous video you'll know that Fab
that was one of the problems.
One of the problems that Fab had. So yeah, we started taking DHA. For the CoQ10, which has amazing reviews, like if you research it you'll just come into a load of like positive stories about how it's helped. But that helps sperm quality as well, and also egg quality. It helps you produce really, like, I don't know what the word was that they used for it, but really good eggs. However, with these two vitamins, it takes 3 months to kick in, because we weren't actually aware until we did a little bit more research. The woman's body works in 3 monthly cycles, so even if you start taking vitamins on the first month, they're not going to affect your eggs. It takes 3 months for you to start producing eggs from those vitamins, or using what's in those vitamins.
Yeah.
Also, male fertility, their cycle's working 3 months as well, which we didn't know. That's why we couldn't go back for a retest for 3 months, because sperm cycles work in 3 months. So yeah, you wouldn't see any difference. So,
which is frustrating, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So we started taking these, and then fell pregnant on the 3rd month of using them. So that can be how quickly things work. And I do believe that is why things happen for us.
Yeah.
Because...
And you're not going to be in a worse off situation by taking these. Obviously, consult a doctor and make sure that you can take these things. But you're not going to be worse off. As long as you're fine taking them, like, you're going to be in a better situation regardless of fertility or not. But, like, these are good supplements, just general health.
So another one that Fab took was fenugreek.
Yeah, what was that for?
I don't know. I'd researched good things to take, and fenugreek was good for male reproduction. So yeah, you took
that, and it stinks.
Yeah,
this was the worst to take.
Really smell.
Yeah.
Fab also started taking ashwagandha. So he started taking this at the same time that we started the DHA and the CoQ10, and he also started taking the fenugreek at the same time.
Can you remember what the ashwagandha was for?
It's just for male fertility, I think.
Really? It also helps with anxiety and stuff, I think, ashwagandha, and sleep, yeah.
Well, there we go then, because I think in terms of feeling anxious, Fab, you hid it an awful lot, but I think you were feeling very anxious about it all, weren't you?
I certainly was, yeah.
Like, so that's what helped.
Yeah, but it was difficult because you were struggling. I didn't want to, like...
No, I know, but I feel like you should have... I mean, you did.
I did speak to you, but
could have spoken.
I think, and that's one thing, right? If you're a male watching this and you're going through what we went through, it's try and find someone to talk to, or you can reach out to us and drop us a message, or me personally. It's lonely, man.
It's really
it feels
tough.
really lonely. I'm not gonna lie, it's super scary knowing that there's a possibility that I won't be able to have kids. Especially when you're out and about and you're seeing kids and parents together. But I am very hopeful, and I am super grateful that we found this out now. It's not something that you should have to think about at my age, but life throws shit at you sometimes, and it's about how you react to it. You can either get really sad and mope about it, or you can do something about it, and that rings true to every situation in life. We put these videos out as a safe space for anyone who's going through this situation to comment or find other people that are in a similar situation. Like, it's extremely personal to us, and it's weird putting this out there, but we've already seen so much positive comments and messages.
If we can help other people, we would have loved to have had somebody to talk to like this,
just to put you at ease. So please don't be alone in this. Like, find people who are in a similar situation to you and speak to them, because it does comfort you a hell of a lot. So well, I was taking that, and then
folic acid. If you are trying to conceive, or know you want to try to conceive in the near future, folic acid is the most important thing for a woman to take. It basically gets the lining of your womb ready and thicker for conception, because basically when you conceive, the egg then attaches itself to the lining of your womb, uterus. This basically makes it thicker and makes a really good home for the baby to grow. As soon as I found out I was pregnant, I continued to take folic acid and also vitamin D, which we've not got here. And I stopped everything else, so all of the CoQ10, DHA.
You stopped all that. We were also taking vitamin D throughout that 3-month cycle, weren't we? That's
vitamin D is another one we took. We've not got it here.
We will link or list them all in the description with links to buy them too. And then, is this the last one? So another thing I was taking is maca root. It helps with sex drive, and I was like, nah, no way is this gonna help. Like, how is this going to work? But the reviews were all positive, weren't they? And I'm not joking, right? This stuff does really help. Obviously, when you're trying to conceive, you have to do the deed multiple times. And after a while of doing that, especially after years of trying, it can get a little bit... It can get hard to... Pardon the pun.
Hard to get going, it can.
No, it can be difficult to, like, continually... I don't know how to word it. Completely real with you. After a while of doing it, it just zaps the fun out of it because you're doing it for as a chore. And we were really conscious of that because you just never know how much to do it. We were doing it sometimes twice a day, sometimes every day, sometimes and then what we concluded was the best for us was every other day.
Every other day. Yeah.
When you were ovulating, wasn't it? So like around the time of ovulation, people online say to do it every single day.
No.
But
no. And when we spoke to doctors and stuff, they said not to do it every day because
your cycle as a male, if you do it every day, you don't have enough time to regenerate your sperm.
Whereas so you're basically just shooting blanks.
Yeah, essentially. Whereas if you wait a day, do it again, you've regenerated. I know this is crude, but anyone watching this, you're going to be wanting to know this.
Yeah, and if you're watching this video, you kind of expect.
You're expecting this, yeah. But this stuff, honestly, right, when this got in my system, it was like a different game, wasn't it?
It was a
lot easier, a lot easier. Yeah. So swear by this.
So let's just go through, so it's really clear what we took each. We put a list each side. So I was taking CoQ10, DHA, which was found in omega-3, vitamin D and folic acid. That is all I was taking, as well as not having any caffeine, not drinking, and I didn't smoke anyway. Fab took maca root, CoQ10, DHA, fenugreek, ashwagandha and vitamin D, and he didn't drink, smoke, and you had 1 coffee a day. Yeah,
and we also both exercise, which is another thing they'll suggest. It's horrible, but if you are overweight, they will say to you, you need to lose weight. So prepare yourself for that.
Yeah, they will, and they're really brutal with it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I swear by, which is one of the most important things if you are having issues with male fertility especially, is a Fertilily cup or a fertility cup. I'm not going to go into details about what it does, but it's a Fertilily cup.
Fertility, we will link it.
We'll put the name of it here. I'm not going to go into depth about what it does.
What we can say is, there's the whole thing of hold your legs up. It's to do with that.
You don't have to
do that. So do your research. We have to be careful with what we talk about on here, just because we have to be a little bit PG, don't we?
Yeah.
Because of our situation. We only started using that. Was it the month?
Yeah.
We used it once.
Yeah.
And it worked.
So.
Alright, there's one thing that I forgot to mention which is super important. Lads, I've got news for you. You might want to ditch your boxers. No joke, I went completely commando for about 6 months, which is weird and it took a while to get used to, but having too much heat, overheating down in that area can be a big problem. And the doctors will give you the advice of either wearing ventilated boxers or wearing no boxers at all. So that is something that I did. Also, do not work with a laptop on your lap. It can literally fry your semen. And that sounds so weird, but the heat, overheating is a massive, massive issue for lads, and something that no one ever, I didn't have a clue that would be a thing. Going to the gym and wearing too much, if you're wearing really thick boxers, joggers in the summer and training, that can be a huge issue too. It can cause problems. So just be really mindful of that. Don't put a laptop on your lap. Don't get too heated down there, okay?
So another thing that we did, which we've spoken about before, is ovulation strips. We actually used, I've put them down there.
Oh.
We actually used these ones, Overview, from Amazon, and you get absolutely loads of them, 60 tests in here, and they come in these little packets. We have spoken about Clear Blue and that we were using the Clear Blue ovulation strips. A load of rubbish. Don't use them. I don't know, I really didn't get on with them. Never got a solid smiley face, and then went into panic that I wasn't ovulating, which was then confirmed that I do ovulate from my blood test.
Also the temperature was a big thing. Taking your temperature.
Oh yes, yeah, I took my temperature. However, that is a bit I don't know if I trusted that.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't know, I didn't really trust it.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't.
But didn't you say it's the most accurate? Or...
It is the most accurate. However, I don't know if I was taking my temperature correctly, if the temperature in the room was different.
No, because it's under your tongue, so it would be
I know,
accurate.
but then what about the temperature of the thermometer before it went in your mouth? I don't know.
I don't know. So you don't want to say
But yeah,
that
I did track my basal body temperature with a thermometer, and I know so many people have said that that's the most accurate way to do it, because you can like understand your temperatures and stuff and see exactly when you're about to ovulate.
Do you know what I think is a huge factor based on our story and people that have been commenting is like your mental state and your stress levels will have a huge impact on whether your body lets you fall pregnant, and for the male whether your body will, you know, I don't know the science behind it, but
stress can be a huge factor.
Stress can be a huge factor, and with us, the month we conceived, like we said, we were both ill, we didn't expect it, we'd written it off in our head, we'd relaxed. It was when I'd finally got my head round, okay, this may take years, and I'd kind of had time to think about, right, Fab, you're not going to be able to go out, you're not going to be able to drink caffeine and have pre-workout and all these things that I'd done. I come to terms with the fact that, okay, your life's going to change for maybe a few years.
Few years?
Well, it could have been. I prepared myself for years. Like, we are extremely lucky that it only took us 2 years. Some people comment saying it's taken them 8 years or whatever. But if you're going through that, just know, come to terms with it and just accept it, and it will happen. You'll be a lot better off for it, because that's the month we fell pregnant. We'd relaxed. We'd allowed ourselves to like just completely go with it.
Yeah.
Whereas before that, we'd been, you know, going through the motions of the anxiety of doing a test, the negative stuff, the just so much, and the doctors would tell us you need to relax, which makes sense, but it doesn't help
because we were ill.
Yeah, it doesn't help. When someone tells you relax, you won't relax. When someone tells you don't worry, you're still gonna worry. Like, you have to be the person that kind of.
And if you are now screaming at Fab, going, "I am relaxed," that was me.
Yeah, it's difficult.
That was me.
I know it's difficult.
Yeah, and it's the worst thing to be told to relax because you want a baby. So I get it. I understand. We were forced to relax because we were ill. I know how hard it can be. So
yeah, it's difficult, man. It's such a. Anyone that goes through this, like, you'll understand how much of an emotional roller coaster it is. Like, it's just mad.
But when you do conceive,
you forget about it, and that's the thing. Like, you'll go through so much emotion and rubbish. Obviously, we've caught it all on film, so it's kind of hard for us to forget it completely. But you do. It all becomes worth it once that happens.
Yeah.
So please stay hopeful. Hopefully, this has given you some tips. We'll link everything below in the description. And thank you to all of you that have followed us along and messaged us and commented, congratulated us, whatever it is. We really appreciate it. And yeah. Follow us on Instagram if you want to keep up to date, but also if you're going through this journey and you're struggling to see us posting content, then please mute us, unsubscribe, whatever you need to do. We would never want to make anyone feel sad
and uncomfortable.
So yeah, that's absolutely fine. There's no hard feelings, although we will hunt you down and burn your house down maybe, but apart from that, no, I'm joking. Let's end this on a positive note and say high five, we did it. Congrats.
And now we have 2.
Now we are about to go and find out the gender of these babies. Well, we aren't. We're going to wait till next weekend, but we're going for our scan, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in next week's video.
Bye!